while reducing our carbon footprint and contribute to global efforts in combating climate change and creating a greener planet. We invite international partners to join us in this journey as we continue to shape a brighter and more sustainable energy future. As we gather here at the Africa Energy Forum 2023, we will learn from one another, share our experiences, and collaborate to create a brighter, more sustainable energy future for Africa. The Africa Energy Forum is a great avenue for us to showcase our achievements and highlight the tremendous potential that exists within our borders. Together we can harness the power of innovation, technology, and partnership to address our energy challenges and unlock the vast potential that lies within our country to develop innovative financing mechanisms, create favorable policy frameworks, and promote technology transfer and capacity building. Only through collaboration we can unlock full potential of renewable energy and build a sustainable one behind. I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the participants, organizers, and partners who have contributed to making this event a reality. Let us seize this unique opportunity to chart a new course for the energy sector in Africa. And in concluding, Your Excellency, let me say, in the just concluded International Energy Agency, which was held a fortnight ago, Kenya was nominated to host the next year's conference on renewable energy. Energy conservation has been identified as one of the key climate change adaptation strategies with respect to migrating from thermal to renewable energy. Your Excellency, I'm sure you'll also be making a note and inviting this summit with respect to the fact that Africa heads of state and governments on climate change will be co-hosted by Kenya and the Africa Union in September, alongside this year's Africa Climate Week in September between 4th and 6th. Our President is certainly going to make an invitation to this wonderful audience, and I hope all of you will come back to Nairobi in September. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, our guests. Welcome to Nairobi. Welcome to Kenya. We now be upstanding and put our hands together to welcome His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Ruto, to make his remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please let's take our seats. Thank you very much. To all our guests from within our continent who are present here, senior government officials from different parts of the world, captains of industry, people in the energy space, good morning and welcome to Nairobi. Before I make my brief statement, let me volunteer some information to you. I have been asked by the Minister for Tourism and Heritage to tell you that while you are in Kenya, you might have a small problem. You may feel too much at home, and going back to where you came from may be a challenge. And she asked me to explain the reason why. Kenya scientists, and I am one of them, that the very earliest remains of man were found in Loyangalani in Kenya, meaning this is where humanity began. So from wherever you have come from, welcome home, all of you. I know you paid for your visa. You had to look for a visa to come to Kenya. If the people of Kenya finally agree with me, the next time you come to Kenya, you may not need a visa, because I think it is unfair to ask anybody for a visa when they are going home. I have also been sent by the governor of Nairobi. He's my friend, and he has told me to ask you to enjoy Nairobi, to give you a bit of geography. On one end is a canopy of very good forest, and you have a national park with wildlife. He's also asked me to tell you that sometimes the lions and cheetahs break from the friends at the national park. So when you find a lion by the road, so be careful, because it is not tamed, it is wild. Regardless of whether we like it or whether we acknowledge it or not, humanity today must confront not just a defining moment in the history of our existence, but also the fact that the unprecedented existential crisis of climate change has a lot to do with our relationship with energy. Energy makes human life safer, human activity more efficient, and society better. The different ways in which societies access and utilize energy describes the contours of human productivity and inequality, and also define our contribution to the worsening climate crisis. For these reasons, the world now has clarity on the right, as well as the wrong, way of sourcing energy. The question of whether we need energy at all shall never arise, because that is the mandatory fact of life. The matter of how we cater for our energy needs must therefore escalate us to the highest priority of humanity's urgent existential concerns, and must continue to occupy our thinking. In the discourse about energy and climate, it is impossible to be neutral or disinterested. We can be part of the problem and at the same time contribute to its solution in various ways. For instance, Africa, with only 16.7% of the world population, has historically been the world's smallest contributor to the problem, cumulatively less than 2.9% of greenhouse gas emissions. At the same time, Africa bears the disproportionate burden of adverse impacts of climate change, including weather phenomena whose devastating consequences range from drought and starvation on one end to floods, landslides, and waterborne disease, as well as massive destruction of property, infrastructure, and livelihoods on a scale that is unprecedented. Moreover, Africa is home of the world's greatest concentration of people without access to efficient and ecologically sustainable energy, with 600 million people having no electricity at all and 900 million people without clean cooking energy. Further, Africa as a continent is heavily endowed with clean, green, and renewable energy resources, as well as the essential minerals required by the global energy transition that humanity must undertake to avert a climate catastrophe. For the reasons set out above, it is both the appropriate and the iconic that Africa has remained a leading actor and voice in climate action efforts. There is no doubt that for 4 decades now, Africa has been robustly and consistently involved in national, regional, continental, and global discourses aimed at finding effective solutions to the climate change problem. This commitment has highlighted Africa's unique place in the global energy and climate mix, and at the same time positioned it as the clean, green continent of the future. The 25th edition of the Africa Energy Forum, therefore, reminds us our unique energy imperative. For 25 years, African governments, energy sector utilities and regulators, development finance institutions, innovators, and technology providers have sustained a commitment to collaborate and take action to move Africa in the direction of its Paris Agreement goals. Kenya's experience of energy sector potential, policies, investment opportunities exemplify the huge possibilities within the African energy and climate action complex. Allow me to. Decades ago, Kenya boldly invested in the development of its renewable energy potential at a time when it was not fashionable to do so. The decision has paid off. Renewable sources form 73% of our installed electricity generation capacity, accounting for over 90% of electricity generated and distributed in Kenya. Additionally, through appropriate incentives and a conducive investment climate, Kenya has mobilized necessary investments to install the biggest wind power plant in our part of the world, the Lake Turkana Wind Power Project. I heard ministers say it is among the largest in our continent. It is the largest in our continent. At the same time, we are steadily exploiting and deploying available geothermal potential, currently estimated at 10,000 megawatts. What Kenya has learned from these developments is that it is possible to achieve ambitious development goals while maintaining clean, green energy commitment. I think there is a proposal, or there is a perception that development and green energy is in conflict or cannot be on the same trajectory. If you had any doubt as to whether it is possible to pursue meaningful development with green energy, you need not look further. Kenya is a good example. Energy is one of the fundamental enablers for the transformation agenda and our infrastructure component of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Partnerships and collaborations in the energy sector are premised on the fact that Kenya is endowed with substantial renewable energy resources which constitute a highly attractive investment profile. The opportunities include, and I'm saying this because I know in this room we have men and women who are looking for opportunity to invest, be made available so that you can go and see sites. The Lake Turkana Wind Power Project, with a capacity of 310 megawatts, is the largest in our continent, and just the same way Davis has said he will arrange to take you to Olkaria, I suggest that he also puts together a plane to take people to